Hey everybody, welcome in. So in this video I'm going to use a different book this time, and I'll post an image of what I'm going to do so you'll see what I've got going on here. But I'm going to create the adjuster block. So in order to do that, I'm going to go to new. I'm going to use my English template, standard, click create. And what I want to do first is just kind of create the overall kind of rectangle shape. And like we can start kind of carving out stuff like we go. Kind of like if we're a sculptor. I just like to start big and chisel down small. Anyway, yeah, that's beside the point, but let's go. So I'm going to start a 2D sketch on the XY plane. I'm going to click on rectangle, 2-point center. My center is going to be the origin. And that's going to have a length, or actually is that the width, length? I don't know. It's one of those two. It's going to be, let's call it the width. So that's going to be 5. Press the tab key. Let me zoom out a little bit. And then the height of that is going to be 2. Press the tab key. Press enter. So now we have an overall rectangle that's 5 by 2. I'm going to finish my sketch. I want to extrude symmetrically. That has a distance of, what is this? That's going to be a distance of 1.5. Hit OK. So there's our overall kind of form shape thingy-majiggy. All right, so now I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this front face. And I'm just gonna, let's project geometry. So let's just project that. I just clicked on the inside of this rectangle. That way it kind of brings all these lines up. I don't think we need to do that, but you know, we're gonna do it anyway. I click line. I'm just gonna draw a line from here, just randomly. I didn't get that on the end, did I? That could be a problem. Draw another one over here somewhere. Go upwards. Let me zoom in here. See that little gap? We don't need that. I'm going to extend this thing. I did that on purpose to show you how to use the extend command. Yeah, let's go with that. Okay. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So what I want to do now is just kind of dimension from this line to the bottom. That's going to be, what is that going to be? That's going to be 1. Same thing here, from this line to the bottom, that's going to be 1. Let's dimension from the end of this angled line to this edge. I believe that's going to be 1.5. Same thing over here, this line, or end of that line to the edge, 1.5. And then this line is going to be 1. Let me double check. Yeah, that's going to be 1. Same thing for this one. That's going to be 1. We're fully constrained. I want to finish my sketch. I'm going to extrude both of these corner shapes here. And I want to cut. So I want to cut those shapes out all the way through. It's my distance. Hit OK. So we have kind of like a hat looking thing. What can we do next? So I'm going to save the little tricky part for last. So let's cut those little circles out. So you can either draw a circle on these faces and extrude cut them all the way through. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the hole tool. So I'm going to click on hole. Make sure that for my hole type here, this is going to be simple hole. The seed is going to be none. This is going to terminate all the way through. And then this diameter here is going to be 0.5, which it already is for me. You might need to change this to 0.5. I'm going to click on the face. Where do I want this hole to be? So I want it to be on this face. And then to put the center point where I want it, I'm going to click on this bottom edge, and that's going to have a, what is that, 0.75? Yeah, that's 0.75. And then click, don't hit enter. I've made that mistake too many times. Don't hit enter just yet. We're going to click on this side here, and this is going to be 0.5. So now we have our center where we want it. Now click enter or hit enter. I'm gonna do the same thing for this other side. So we could just flip it around if you wanted to. Click on the hole. Click on, I want the hole to be on this face. Since I already have all this set up from the last time, I don't need to change any of that. So from this edge here, that's 0.75. From this edge is 0.5. Press enter. So we have, let me look at the top, make sure we got those. Yeah. Okay. Now here's where the fun part begins. So my stomach is growling. It's time to eat. If you hear my stomach growling, just, ignore that part. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I am going to cut out this little angled slot thingamajig. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to my origin here, my little plus sign. I'm going to click on the YZ plane. I'm going to left click it to select it, and then right click. I'm going to check visibility. I'm going to start a 2D sketch on this plane. So you notice the front half of that object is in our way. So I'm going to go down here to where you see the slice graphics tool. Click that. Now it removes that front part out of our way. So now I can just draw. Do I want to draw a line or yeah, let's project geometry. I don't know. I probably don't need to do that. Actually, I don't need to do that, but oh well. Let me just click these edge lines here. I don't think I need to do that, but anyway, now I can use my line command. I'm gonna start, just draw a triangle like way down here, all the way to the top. Another line from here to the corner, from the corner down to that. Now we have a nice triangle. Wow, my stomach is really growling. Sorry about that. I'm gonna right click, hit OK. I'm gonna dimension this bottom to that bottom edge. That's gonna be, what is that? Is that 0.5? Yes, 0.5. And so here's the tricky part. So what you want to do is you want to dimension this. You want to dimension the angle. So click this angled line. Click this vertical line. What did that, anyway? That should be 30 degrees. Now we're fully constrained. I'm going to finish my sketch. Now I want to extrude. It already selected that since that's the only kind of shape that we have. So I'm going to extrude. The direction is going to be symmetric. And we're going to make sure where it says Boolean, we want to use the cut option. And then for the distance, what is that? Is that 1? Yes, looks like 1. So that's going to be a distance of 1. Click OK. And now we have our object that we need. But I'm going to get rid of this visibility of this YZ plane. So right click it, uncheck the visibility. We can get fancy. We can add some color to it. I'm just going to go down to do a smooth off-white. Nothing really fancy there. Anyway, so there it is. So there is our adjuster block. So make sure you save that. And hopefully that helped. And we'll work on another one in the next video. All right, peace.